Good morning all. Yes, sir. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. Let's get it. Happy today is Tuesday. Morning. Make sure all systems go. There we go. All right. Let's have a look what we got going on for today. Start off with the calendar. Tuesday here, pretty clean day. A little bit of GBP news. We had 10 a.m. Nothing too crazy. Bit of Euro news at 1 p.m. It's not going to affect us too much during the London session. Earnings this week. We have earnings from some of the top companies, so it's going to be quite important as well. This is a different earnings, but I'm talking about we do have earnings this week. Nothing really Middle East tensions, but we are still striking in the Middle East, so it's not de-escalating here, but we're seeing a bounce from our major support zones here. So Asian session daily open starting to bounce here on gold. We're starting to see price rise up from those levels there. So if you start off on daily time frame here, okay, if I can even click daily, we can see previous daily actually did close bearish here, so we consolidated and then boom, Asian volume just been absolutely ripping here. So yeah, we can see strong Asian volume coming into here, price continuing pre-session break of structure here right at the Asian candle, and then once we broke that structure, that was it. Heavy upside. Now we reached target already, so we're at target for now. It's going to be very difficult to send a buy right here where we're at because we're at top of range. So anyone FOMOing in buys here need to be a little bit patient here. What we want to see is we actually want to see it pop up a little bit more, close above this 4-hour resistance, then pull back, and then we trade off the pullback. That would be perfect here. Technically, we are mixed bias here. I'm more, obviously bullish with this momentum here. Unless I see some significant momentum changes, I'm not really going to immediately look for sells here unless it's clear to me that we are pushing back. I mean, and we could push back from here, right? Just because, we don't have any resolution or anything. I did say in my weekly analysis, we could come back here into this daily all the way up here at 174. So we're still quite away from that. So, it definitely can happen where we come back up to these levels here. Does it happen today? Probably not, but you never know. But I would assume not. But if we do want to pull back first here, and there's an option to sell, I will have a look at it. But right now we're just pushing very aggressively towards the upside, and we don't want to just FOMO and buy the highs where we're at right now because we reached target. If we're looking at DAX here on the other hand, let's make this a bit smaller. Actually, let's go NASDAQ then DAX. NASDAQ going to be similar scenario, same daily support we're coming from, rejection candle yesterday, no resolution, tried upside, failed. And now we're being held down by this daily support here. So if we look at this, this is a major zone here, right? We have a major zone. We'll discuss about this more into the stream about the major zone here. But we're respecting it for now. 4-hour time frame has given us successful break of structure on CFDs. Very nice close on this 4-hour time frame. And there's no question why we don't fill this wick, or we can come up to this daily support, especially with how the 1 hour is looking here, successful 1 hour candle close. So the name of the game here on NASDAQ is going to be just looking at what ranges we have here, what previous ranges. This 30-minute yesterday gave us some issues during NY session. If you look, NY session wicked up into this zone here and then absolutely got rejected. So this is NY high yesterday. This is where the buyers kind of faded out at NY, and then we pulled back very heavily. We tried to head up a little bit more, and then we see a pullback, and that pullback ends up pushing us down towards the bottom of the range here. So yeah, very interesting to see that we've, you know, coming close towards that. Any pullbacks now can be opportunity to buy back up, and we can look for some sort of support to be created to continue back towards the upside. So let's see how that ends up forming on this, and then we can tackle that accordingly. If we move back into DAX here, have a look at what DAX is doing. It's not too much of the same. We are at this daily support here. A little bit more choppy ranges on DAX, as you can see, almost reaching 4-hour target here. Technically mixed bias here as well. A lot of back-to-back 1-hour candles closing bullish, which is not a good sign when you trade the markets. You don't want to see so many candles. I mean, it's fine to see it if you're in a trade, obviously, but if you're looking to take a buy, you don't want to be buying after, you know, a shit ton of back-to-back 1-hour candles. So what you want to see most of the time is you want to see something that's a little bit more you know, structure based. But we do have a little bit on 30 and a lot on 15. So I would say DAX is going to be similar to NASDAQ, but if DAX does lose this low here, we can look for sells. If not, structure to continue up is not going to be something that I'm going to disregard. I probably will have a look to see if there's a way to find opportunity based on that. So that is what I'm going to look for in that area there, and then see how to tackle that. Coming back into gold here, we can see we tapped this 30, rejecting now. Ultimately, that's the plan. Structure on NASDAQ, I quite like. We have a lot of range to play on NASDAQ. We just need some volume. Yes, we've had a lot of volume here, so if it wants to die out, we can't blame price, though it will be boring for us. It is something that we can't really adjust as well here. So let's see what ends up happening today, and then we can tackle it accordingly. Can you check US 30? Yeah, we can have a quick analysis of US 30. I don't trade it in London, but we can definitely analyze it. Yesterday pushed down here. It's not as bearish as something like NASDAQ. Weekly timeframes are not that alarming. 4-hour timeframe also giving the same bounce here. This looks a little bit more bearish, but we can see a little bit of a move up to 52,131 here. So I would expect structure, maybe a slight move up before maybe to continue this downtrend. Right now we're in a downtrend, and probably we can reach maybe 51,743 unless we make a higher low. So what it needs to do, which it hasn't done yet, is make a higher low, right? So we need to see that form now. So that's what I'll be looking for. So yeah, that's the analysis. If the analysis made sense, let me know in the chat, guys. Leave a like on the YouTube stream. You know the drill. 150 of us in here, 19 likes. Let's get the likes at least up to 80. You know the drill. Do the YouTube business. Hate to say it, but part of the game. You remember that? Asian session, took this trade at NASDAQ, hit my stop loss, gone to TP. What can I do here, brother? I want to change stop loss placement in Asian. So have you watched the Asian session trading video? Have you watched that in the WOP content? That's my first question to you. Have you watched the Asian session trading video in the WOP content? So that would be my first question to you. Nope, you're new. There you go. So if you want to trade Asian session and you're new here, don't you think the best thing to do is to actually watch the Asian session video? Like, even if you're new, it doesn't matter, right? So if you're like, you know what, I'm going to join a group and I'm going to investigate, I want to trade Asian. So let me see the content that there is and let me study Asian session. And then when you go to that, you're going to find right? That there's a video specifically made for Asian. So watch that first. It will help you. It will help you a lot, you know? So remember, when you join somewhere, sometimes you need to learn a bit. So even if it takes you a week to learn the stuff, let's say you wanted to trade, let me show you how I would do it. So if I had to come into the group here and I had all this content I can devour. If I was a complete beginner, I'd watch the beginner videos. If I wasn't a beginner, I would start to see like, okay, let me see how to trade London and NY session. If those are my two sessions, I'll watch that. If I'm someone trading NYSE and indices, I'm going to watch the whole indices section, right? I'm going to be like, let me watch the full indices section. If I'm someone who's trading Asian session, I'm going to watch the Asian session video. If you're someone who wants to get help with their prop firm, right? Then you're going to go where? Prop firm trading section, right? So you're going to be like, okay, I'm struggling a lot on the prop firm. Let me get these fundamentals down. So that's like a really good way to kind of understand different stuff, right? Or are you someone who wants to increase risk? Again, are you someone who struggles with stop loss? Here's the video, how to trade Asian session plus Asian ranges, right? 19-minute video. Check it out.
Yo, Harry.
Yo, bro.
Yo, can you actually, if you have time, can you review my Asian trade? I posted it in the Asian session group.
Yeah, I saw it already, bro. With that stop loss, it's good. If you put tighter stop loss, it's going to be difficult. You know, you're just relying on this zone to get out of this range.
Yeah,
But
I was
if you
actually
put any tighter stop loss, it's going to be risky, you know?
yeah, actually at the bottom of the range, if you look at the very bottom of Asian session, I was meant to take the 1 minute when it closed above 1 minute change of structure, but I wanted the extra confirmation from the 5 and we just flew. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, volumes in the market. We got 1 5-minute close. Let's see if we can push through this 15. We absolutely obliterated.
But you know, you can't do this here. Because here you're at bottom of range, so you're relying on the bounce. But when you get higher up, you need to give it more room, right?
Yeah, you gotta let it breathe.
Yeah, like if this was a little higher up, stop has to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I was trading at a resistance, so that's why, you know, I ran the stop loss.
Yeah. And then you were planning to get to break even?
Yeah, I was actually trading on one of my accounts that, I low-key was like about to hit max drawdown on. So I low-key got Cindy on that account. I got Cindy on that account and I finally recovered.
I mean, if you're trading like here, you know, you need to, you know, you have room, right? It's not, you know, you have room, but once it gets to that, you need to be careful. But once it got to there, nothing came back, so you were okay. But ideally, bigger stop.
Yeah, I was already mental. I was already mental break even once we tap that 15. Because if we're gonna reject heavy. Because we have no pullback at all.
Exactly.
We have no pullback at all. Like I wanted to be in at the bottom of the range, just like that little basic market positioning thing, right?
Yeah.
Triangle tick. And then, yeah, we just blasted through it.
Yeah, it had enough volume. Yeah, Asian had good trend direction today. We're trending a lot in Asian today.
Yo, the delivery was nuts, bro. I'm literally training shoulders, bro, at the gym. I'm like, ah, shit, let me check my phone, bro. Let me see what's cooking. I'm like, we're like at previous daily support now. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's juicy to buy from down here, though.
Yeah, because the hourly didn't create a top work. So when we retested the hourly support, I was already anticipating like we're gonna flip.
Yeah, that
we have to flip, at least create that top work. And we have the 30-minute and the 15. There's so many reasons to support. And the lows got taken on ES as well, so I was like, bro, this shit's fucking free. Harry, bro, thoughts on Spain winning, bro, taking it home?
Bro, Spain winning World Cup, happy, bro. Happy, to be honest, happy.
Hey, God's good, eh?
Yeah. I mean, they tried to fix the match one more time, but it didn't work. You just can't... like, you can have people who help fix the match. You can have people help fix the match, but if they can't play good on top of that, it's game over. But this is like talking about politics, so we need to be careful.
Yo,
How
let's
did we
chill,
start a
let's chill.
debate?
Let's chill, let's chill.
Yeah, see, fixed how? What do you mean? Amazing that foul? Yeah, that's the attempt at fixing, right? Was counted as a no goal.
Well, I'm gonna send you a photo real quick, bro. Just put a smile on your face.
How is it in Dubai? Dubai is good, bro. Oh man, what is this photo, bro? I mean, Messi is a good player, bro. It's just the... I think it was good, man. Spain definitely played better in the final, that's for sure.
I needed England to take it home, bro.
Bro, I don't know what happened to them, bro.
Let's not even start about this, bro.
This is a debate I've already had. There was no fixing, guys. Come on. Bro. If there is no fixing, there is fixing, bro. Come on. There is. But we won't take this debate because people are too opinionated. Egypt got scammed. Yeah, I mean, there is that form. I mean, one thing I don't understand is please explain to me how someone bumps into an Argentina player very, very, you know, very, very, very cleanly. And that's the time they score a goal and he calls it a foul, no goal. There's like many things that are questionable, you know? But the one fact is in the final, Spain played better than Argentina. And that's it. Park the bus, bro. It's like someone tipped him off to say that, you know? That's what I believe. I believe maybe he's corrupt. No way England just shuts off like that. Look at the stamina they had during... look at the stamina they had during France versus England. And why... Okay, if they're getting tired, why not just send Saka on the pitch then? Yeah, exactly, right? Why is he not coming on, you know? Like, come on, wake up. This is too obvious. We're talking about top level football here, you know? You know, we're talking about they can't make basic mistakes like this. As always, the best team won. Yeah, in the finals, it was a game, right? Right, we're trying to close above here in 3 minutes. This 30 is not the best looking, but this 15 wouldn't be too bad. We don't have too much range. We might just have to follow momentum. We're gonna see. We're gonna see in 3 minutes here. Frosty Flake stepping ass. Yeah, this is the Frosty Flake stepping ass here. The guy commenting that for sure. Seems like might as well buy the highs. I mean, there can be an opportunity, you know. We'll just have to see how it forms. Doesn't mean we can't manage, but at least we have a 15 bearish. It's quite nice. We just need to clear this 30-minute level. Previous would be better. Would be better. It's not too necessary, but you can see some 1 minute reacting off it. So I believe it would be a good idea. Would be a smarter idea. See what 1 minute is trying to do here. Yeah, only issue is if the last 1 minute after this candle starts to fly. Like if this breaks the high, there's a chance it can do it, but at the same time it can break the high and flip back in the range and you lose your trade. So you have to stick to a rule set, and rule sets make you money. Yesterday, I was super patient on my trades yesterday. Too big this. There we go. That's good size. On my broker, no bottom wick on NAS. If you trust your broker, you can trust your broker. So let's see how we make a bottom wick on this candle. Last 15 seconds. We have to see also how deep we close here. Oh, I don't know if I have a top wick. I can't see just yet. Need to zoom. Yeah, I have a small top wick. I need a good bottom wick in this instance here. Because with this tiny top wick like this, we need to see at least a decent bottom wick to go grab some liquidity. You know, especially for like a 48-point move. Like that's all the way up there, you know. So we need decent bottom wick right now. I probably will go with an aggressive stop loss here actually, because I don't expect it to come back in the range. Yeah, this is good enough bottom wick. So I'll put buy stop here with stop loss. Probably aggressive here, somewhere like this, 6-7 or something. Yeah, something like that. Because after such a bottom wick like this, I expect it probably to retest here. It's normal, but to come all the way down here, I wouldn't want to be in, and I want to optimize. So we'll see. Wherever this bottom wick essentially lands. So this would be your normal stop loss, like this. Wherever this bottom wick is, I'll put the stop. So let's see. $15-minute has no top wick. I have on futures, I have here, I have on broker. So if you want to follow your broker, my friend, you can follow it. You expect a quick push? No, I don't expect a quick push. I just expect it to trend up. Unless now it starts breaking, 5 minutes start to close bearish, it's going to change the game. If 5 minute closes back in the range, it's not going to be a breakout. And that's how we get protected, by staying patient, waiting for the bottom wick. Right? So many people would have just jumped in already, and now they're holding all this drawdown, praying that it flips, and you're buying the highest point of the session. So whenever you buy the highest point of the session, you want to have good conviction that it's going to go. You're going to get some volume. So you do everything you can, because you rather miss a trade here than get stuck in something that makes you lose money. Because missing a trade, you don't make and you don't lose. But one thing is for certain, is that you don't lose. Right? You can say, oh, I lost because that trade would have played out, but there's also a possibility that that trade failed. And it's really important that if you can make money, you need to preserve money, right? Hi, can you please explain the trade you took yesterday? What confirmation made you enter without the close? So we had the close yesterday. So if you look at yesterday's trade here, I'll show you yesterday's trade. So this is how yesterday's trade looked on a 15-minute. So we had the close, 15-minute candles closing bullish. So I still took yesterday's trade with a closing bullish. I got out so I could avoid this drawdown that might have stopped me out. And then I re-entered here on more of an impulsive entry to rely on volume coming back into the range here. So I was relying on volume coming back into the range. Right, that's how yesterday's entry was taken. Then I closed out around this previous zone here. So 5 minutes still rejected. It didn't close bearish below, right? It's kind of like a setup 3. Do you find it conservative not to take breakouts, this kind of positioning without good retracement, something special? Yeah, definitely. You can be more conservative not to take breakouts. It's an option. I won't fault you at that. Like, we really don't know. This could stop right here, right? This could be game over. This could be the end of the upside move, or it could continue to these highs. We don't know. So it's not too bad to say like, hey, I'd rather be conservative. I'm just looking at today at how much volume we've had. And we keep grabbing liquidity. That's fine for me. The other thing I really like is this 4-hour close. That's such a nice 4-hour close. You're younger than me, but you've achieved a lot. I look up to you in many aspects. Keep conquering and inspiring. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the very kind words. It's very kind of you. Is that a buy limit? No, I'm not taking a limit order. Limit order has to be below where current price is, not above. Buy stop would be above, right? So this is a trade where we rely on some volume to push us back up here. Now, we can only expect price to come here. This won't be a one-to-one, but if it fails from here, it's totally valid for it to fail. We will be stopped out break even. If it fails before, we just lacked volume, and that's the risk we take. Because as traders, as a trader, I have to take risk, right? And that's the risk that I'm choosing to take. Is 29.11 a 1 hour resistance? For me, I'm clean all the way up until this area here, which is 21. I don't see you stream very often. What's the schedule? Tuesday and Thursday. I post it in the Telegram, but it's in the description as well. Every Tuesday, every Thursday. We stream every single day in the group. So on YouTube, Tuesday and Thursday. So be sure to show up then. Would you still trade if you had no need of money? What would you do? I don't think that's a reality, but you know, trading at this moment is kind of like part of my routine as well. But I don't think it's a reality that someone would have no need of money. But if I had no need of money, probably not, right? Because I don't need money. So I would just do stuff that's more fun than trading. Like you could do anything. If you don't need money, you could like go race cars or something cool. So this 5 minutes still respecting this range here. If you have infinite money, life gets boring probably. It does get boring, but you could but that's about you because you need to give yourself a purpose somewhere. Like if you had infinite money, like okay, there's no financial problem, but then you can give yourself a physical challenge. It's boring if you have a lot of money and you're not physically fit. What about trading EAs? That's a very dangerous topic because there's a lot of EAs that are just going to rinse your account eventually. You know, it's very complex. I would say, like before looking into EAs, learn to manually trade so you understand how the market moves, and you get the longer you spend in the market, the more time you're going to find out who's a scam and who's not. Harry, do you own any other business or thinking of any outside of trading or to do with trading? What's an EA? It's just a bot that trades for you, mostly martingale. Yeah, I do have businesses outside of just my own trading, yes. Outside of trading, yes, I do have a business outside of trading. We have a software development company. But we're mainly building trading related softwares because that's my clients. But, you know, if someone comes to us with a project that has nothing to do with trading, we'll do it. We might get a nice setup 3 here if this 15 closes like this. Could be quite nice. You'll have the 1 hour closing bullish as well. It'll be good. I think around 1 minute before the open, it's worth to wait till the open. The only risky thing is like yesterday, last second it changed. So I don't want it to break the high and reach here before the open. And then you've missed the whole trade. Will you trade German 40? I already traded, yes. I already traded, but there's no setups for me right now. This is too small of a range. I mean, you could try if this closes above here, but you have the open on DAX. And the open on DAX is very hard to get in. You know? SL is looking so big, brother. This is not a big SL. 29 points is not a big SL. Please do not trade NYSE session. You will have anxiety problems, I think. Oh, Delirious is playing. Guaranteed win. Guaranteed win if we get triggered. So let's see how this closes. As long as it doesn't close in 5-minute range, I prefer that it closes a little bit stronger. Still valid. Volume is low though. Open can come and bring volume. That's the thing right now. We're trading in the open. Someone is gonna be happy. Yeah, that is like the sexiest truck I've ever seen. Especially this one. That's my car. So yeah, last 6 seconds here, getting a little bit stronger this candle. We just need a bottom wick on the open. So here's our bottom wick. So let's see if some volume comes in. I like this close. 30-minute not below previous, but we have the 1 hour close now. This is important. Plus 15-minute setup 3. Let's see what happens. Probably gonna give it a tiny bit more room. Just around the open can be a little bit jumpy. Yeah, like that. I don't want to be triggered early. The stops below 5-minute structure makes sense? No, because we could break the high, retest this a couple of times. We could even retest previous range. Like I would say, you could squeeze it up to this low here now is fine. But I've already calculated for it, so. All right, time for some action now. Why some action? We are in London. Are we in London session? No, because I got triggered, no? So preferably, of course, I want this 5-minute to close above here. This would be ideal situation as the 5-minute to close above. We don't want it to break structure, that's for sure. We don't want it to break this structure here. I think 1-minute dump, no top wick. So we have some structures here. It might need some time to gather itself. But I really rather prefer the 5-minute candle close above. We can watch this on a 5. Just I'm going to put a line here at this. Bam. Okay. So this 5 would have been nice if it closed above. It would have given us easy continuation. Right now it's still giving us a little bit of difficulty at the moment. Like the ideal scenario now is we come back and re-break these highs. Is NQ and SL related? NQ is dropping, silver was as well. No, they're not. It would be more on gold. So this is where we want to respect right now, right? We kind of died volume here. We tried, we made a higher low, and now we're dying volume. So we want to respect one of these levels here, volume to come back in. If we look at DAX, DAX had a very good breakout here as well. Someone, Warrior is telling us. So yeah, DAX had good volume here. What about other stock? SPX here. SPX is still pushing above the high. It broke the highest high here. So SPX, same setup, doing well. US 30, very good volume on US 30 as well. Just NASDAQ here, actually. Just NASDAQ that's barely pushing. But I mean, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We need to see what we do around these levels here. Still 1 minute 25. So we want to respect this level here in 1 minute 25. How can you see if there's volume or no? I don't see from price action, right? We can see how price action is moving, right? How we just ranged on 1 minute, struggled at the highs. Here it looked good, but we don't know. Then we just died. So it's very difficult because at this point here, this point right here, it still looks good. It's making higher lows. This candle forms a support candle, still looks like it wants to break. After this candle here, it's very hard, but you don't want to manage here because you have all this support here. So sometimes price needs to go down, grab liquidity before making, unless price just wants to reverse today. If it wants to reverse, then this is going to be the high and then it's just going to die off here, right? So this is the new 5 minute open here. 5 minute close below, which is not a good sign. Our last level of defense is this. So if we start to break this, I don't want to be in this trade. This area here. That's where I would not want to be in the trade. Until then, it can do what it wants to do. Big question here is how the 15 closes, right? Just a little bit boring, unfortunately. So we need to see it test this box now. And then if there's no reaction off this box, it's pretty close to stop by then. So it might just hit stop. Whoa, that's a big dump. That probably will hit stop now. Let's see what happens. But yeah, probably high chance hit stop here. No point of obviously managing when it's right at my stop. Because it's right there. Yeah. So we'll take that as an L. All good though. Gave it a shot. Came back up. Very hard to manage. We gave it a chance here, but price just didn't want to have volume. So first L on the stream in 2 months on YouTube stream. So we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Win with pride, lose with dignity. So yeah, just no volume here. Pretty hard to come to London session at highs. A lot of assets did continue up. We had nice push here on US 30. We had a good push on DAX, but just we didn't have enough from NQ here. NQ just didn't give us enough, and that will happen sometimes. That's the risk of buying highs. We know the risk today of buying highs. If you're not comfortable buying highs, then don't buy the highs. But in a market like today where we're just trending stupidly, it's unlucky that we come to London session at highs, but there's no way to say that price is going to stop until we reach a resistance. And today we had a little bit of room to reach to that resistance. And as a trader here, if I'm going to join a session here, either I say today I'm not trading this session at all, I don't want to trade, or I'm going to rely on London Open, which is my only chance to get the extra volume to push here. So that's how it is. You know? So it's pretty normal standard here. Like we can't predict. This can respect the range and still give us this upside move a little bit later. But we just now need to probably enter re-break of the highs when we get a little bit more volume. If you look at yesterday's trade that I took here, I was taking buys in yesterday's trade. And the buys I took were from the bottom of the range. So they were a lot nicer. They were a lot nicer. Compared to today where we just had such a big push in London, and then London doesn't give us volume, but we can't rely on that, right? And now maybe London will just range, or it could maybe try to reverse a little bit later, set up for NY buys here. So we'll see what ends up happening on today like this. But yeah, price just didn't want to at least tap this resistance. On US 30, we did tap the resistance up here, you see. So this is the equivalent, right? This was the equivalent here, so that's how it is. You don't use order flow to look for absorption. It was huge delta at the top being absorbed. Buyers were not being rewarded. Yeah, but then they could be iceberg orders that end up you know, not having a failed auction, right? We could have a successful auction of the highs and you can have a breakthrough and go and fill some more orders towards the top. And then you get fooled by maybe some orders that are keep on changing. So even though buyer absorption happens, doesn't mean it's going to lead to a failed auction, because with a failed auction, you could also have a re-liquidity grab. And then from one of the 1 minute zones, you will be able to have seller absorption happen, which we were seeing seller absorption happen throughout the whole session here. So if you read price action before the session, even though there was buyer absorption to the highs, you're having seller absorption happen from all these lows here, all the way leading up to here. Every time price came down here, we had sellers absorbed, sellers absorbed, sellers absorbed, boom, into a breakout zone here. So without needing to look at order flow, I can see buyer seller absorption as well. Right, so even though yes, buyers were absorbed at the highs, doesn't mean that we were gonna have a failed auction, right? We can still break out. And in easy terms, without people who don't use order flow, is a breakout. We saw a good bottom wick. We waited for a nice bottom wick. So we had 5 minute candles create a structure. We tried the breakout. It's that simple. Why exactly do you look to catch one trade a day and come back the next day? No, one trade a session, not one trade a day. If you trade one session, then one trade a session, because most likely in a session, except for NYSE, NYSE sometimes likes to move quite aggressively, right? You know, it likes to move quite aggressively. You could get 2 trades in the NYSE. NYSE, I'm sometimes taking 3 trades, couple of break evens, but it's very, very good, right? It's very, very good to take a trade. If it's a winning trade, call it a session, because that's probably going to be the move of the session. Because otherwise what you'll end up doing is you'll probably end up doing something like this. Say today you want to look for a buy, and you're taking a buy break of the high, like today, and then it fails. Now you switch to become a seller. You switch to become a seller, and now price goes back up and continues the buys. Now you try get the buys FOMO in at the high again, you lose the sells, you lose the buys, and then you lose the buys again, and all price ended up doing for the session is ranging. And you just caught up taking a sell at the low, a buy at the high again, and you lose your whole account, or you lose 4 or 5 trades, and it's just a big mess. Same thing will happen that if you now try buy from the bottom of the range and price reverses, you get stopped out twice. So it's better just to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, right? Hey, can you point me to the right direction, video and WAP? Yeah, just go to content library. And then once you go to content library, scroll up in content library. And then you'll find 1 minute execution. Just watch this webinar here, not the video, the webinar here. Will you be live at NY session? Yes, in the group. Anyways, let me journal this trade. Setup 3. Take a screenshot. Bam. One minute execution video has no sound yet. That's why I instructed him to go to this webinar, because it's in the webinar, right? This webinar, this one here, it's in the webinar. There's an audio bug, so go and watch it from the webinar. Only thing I would say, I think I should have waited for a 5-minute close and then maybe use the stop. Yeah, this is such a common like beginner mindset. Like whenever a trade loses, they're like, okay, I should have waited for another confirmation. So it's a very common thing to feel like that. But you have to look at the reality. You have a 1-hour candle close. You have a 30-minute candle close. You have a 15-minute setup 3. You have 5-minute structure. If you wait for the 5 close and the 5 closes up here, what are you going to do? That's my question. So if the 5 closes up here, guess what you're going to say? Oh, I shouldn't have waited for the 5-minute close. We already had enough confirmation. Right? It's just going to be the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how like safe you want to trade though, doesn't it? Like obviously you'll miss it if it closes up there.
But you're at high, so you want to get in as early as possible. Even if the 5 closes here, you're going to be late. I'm going to be 5, 6, 7 points in profit.
Yeah, no, I think that's just like some days it'll work, isn't it? Some days it won't, obviously.
No, it works when you have other confirmation, and when it doesn't, you need to define your trading. Because if you have only a 15-minute close, no 1 hour, no 30-minute, of course, then you can wait for a 5. It makes sense. But this is a different scenario. You have 1 hour, you have a setup on every single time frame. There's not one time frame without a setup. higher low, you have confirmation, previous 5 closed bullish here. So it depends on the circumstance. Otherwise, you just never take a trade and you're always waiting for 5-minute confirmation on everything. And you just trade the 5-minute time frame only. And the trades you take on 5-minute, you lose. Because you forget about the other time frames. I've seen it super common. Like people will concentrate just on the 5-minute. And then they'll take maybe like a 5-minute change of structure here. And then they'll lose. And they'll think, oh, well, why did I lose here? I mean, it was a 5 change because you're only focusing on the 5. So if you have other time frames, super powerful to make sure to utilize them. Make use of them. Put them to work. Otherwise, you just never trade, you know. Especially when we're at highs of markets. When you're at highs of markets, guys, you don't want to be waiting around. You want to be in as early as possible. When we're at lows, it's okay to wait for extra confirmation because we are at the lows of the range. So we want to see price prove to us that it's ready to go. And there's many ways we can ask price to prove to us. Is there, you know, what is there at the lows of range? So yeah, don't feel like tell yourself that, hey, I should have waited for a 5, because it's not wrong to not wait for a 5 there, you know? It's okay. Cheers, Joe. Take care. Isn't this a setup 2 on gold? Yeah, it's tough though. You're fighting against bias. I mean, but we are at a 4-hour resistance right now, so I can see the vision. You know, 5 change of structure here. If this 5 can maybe make a bigger top wick, I might give it a go. You know, but this is pretty heavy dump. I don't want to be the first seller too early here. You know, and have to put a massive stop here. This is like a 80 pip stop, 50, 60 pip target, but you have 100 pips to here. But a lot of bullish momentum. At any time, this can make another higher low. Just because we made a resistance doesn't mean we flip. DAX consolidating. Nasdaq trying to break structure as well. G'day Harry Layton from Aussie, just stopping to say some love. Yo bro, welcome. Hope you're well. Wonder if this come back down, retest a little bit deeper, then try some upside a little bit later, like maybe from here. How many people are in this group and how many people those from the USA? About 1,500,000 people in the group and 10 people from USA. From USA, there's a lot more. They come during the NYSE session, of course, man. They don't trade London session in USA. So when we're live in NYSE, you'll find all the guys from US. But not in London session. London session, they're mostly sleeping. But NYSE session, you'll find all of them there. Please use month, day, year in your webinar videos. It's there every single video. Every single video. And I even put it in content library. Don't be lazy, right? Date. 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 In WAP, I see day then month. Oh, you're complaining about the order I put it in? Oh, come on, bro. Let's not be serious. I mean, can I just read it? You know, I mean... I mean, you can figure it out, you know? It's... there's no such thing as 20th, right? Of a month, right? 22 is obviously not going to be the month. In my country, they maybe have 20 months. Bro, I'm from the UK, bro. Pretty standard there. WAP app doesn't play any videos for me. Yeah, the app maybe is cooked, so just use it on browser. I mean, even here, man, it's showing me... Look down here. You can see month, day, month, year. So straight candles, at some point this is going to make a support candle, maybe down here, you know, by the time we make a support, we don't know just yet. Gold is pushing down here successfully. But again, you need, like with big stop loss here, it means nothing, right? I mean, you get away with 80 point stop loss is fine. But it's not enough. You're like 30 pips in profit. It's not bad. It's better than being in loss, right? Better than being in loss. So it just needs to cook. How low do you think gold will retrace? Well, you have to learn about something called levels, right? And then you can use your previous levels to be able to identify how low price will go on something. Because it's not like a straight answer. You'll have a high probability zone and a low probability zone. And then you just work from zone to zone. So once you learn about the the important levels, you'll be able to identify, hey, where do we go first? That's the same way you set TP, right? That's the same way you set TP. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm not seeing any immediate setups right now. We can see gold trying to create support. This was what I was scared of selling, because at any point we can actually reverse, right? I mean, logically it makes sense. We come a little bit lower, but I think we did tap the wick. No, not yet. So yeah, a little bit lower. Yeah, a little bit lower, possible. But at any point this can create a support, bit of range. I won't buy the support immediately because of you know, we're just pretty high here. Let's let it accumulate some volume, then we can trade. Nasdaq trying to do the same, right? This is what we spoke about. This is why it's difficult to sell super early. Imagine you were seller break of this low, you're in deep shit right now. And that's the concept I told you about. You buy the highs, you think, man, this shit is now not going up, it has to go down. You sell the lows, you're probably scared, so you put a tight stop loss just back in the range. You're already stopped out, or you're not scared and you put a proper stop loss, and now you're almost 50%, more than 50% to your stop loss. And you're like, I really hope that this continues down, and you're all nervous, and that emotional situation that the market puts you in is going to cause you for the rest of the week to probably keep on making mistakes. And where you could have walked away today with just minus 1%, you walk away with not being able to make profit back and this gut-wrenching feeling of the mistakes that you're making. And then the next day you come to the market, it's a mess. The next day you come, you end up in a deeper mess, and you end up in this cycle of where you can't just generate profit, all caused by one event. Right? This is something that I teach a lot to the guys, is about how to control that, you know, be accountable. And I do that by showing up for them daily. I do it myself. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm gonna hop off stream now, guys, because price needs some time to cook. I'm gonna trade NY session probably next. I'm glad I didn't randomly jump into the sells. Hopefully if I did, I would have gone break even. But I'm glad I didn't, because now you have a break of structure. Imagine I jumped in the sells with a small stop loss like this, and I got FOMO, and I just left the trade to run. I'm like, it has to hit here, has to give me a 1-to-1, you know, and then it stops you out. So, you know, so I'm glad, you know. So we'll see what happens here. We could definitely bounce back up here. I don't want to be the first guy to buy the 15-minute candle. I think we need some consolidation. But market's trying. This could even make a lower high eventually. So I want to let the market cook a bit. Give me clear direction. We've had no direction in London. We've gone up, we've come back down. Now we're trying to go back up. That is called a range. And I do not want to get caught in a range. That is really bad. So if we keep bouncing in here, it's not something I want to be part of. But yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up as always. Pleasure to have you guys on stream. Much love. Unfortunate today, we will remain defeated, but that's okay. We've actually been very lucky with good wins here. So we'll make it back, just following the plan. That's how trading works. And yeah, appreciate you all for showing up. It's good education always. And I'll catch you guys hopefully soon. All right. Peace. Cheers, guys. Cheers.